And a pleasant Thursday evening to everyone, and welcome into Rocket City Trash Pandas Baseball. Josh Carey welcoming you to Toyota Field, where tonight it is going to be Game 4, or actually it's Game 3. They all run together, folks. I'm sorry. Game 3 of a 6-game series between the Rocket City Trash Pandas and the Birmingham Barons. Back at Mission Command, running the boards is Daniel Williams, and this is the pregame show. The Trash Pandas will try to get back on the winning track after losing yesterday to the Barons by the final score of 8-4 in what was a really, frankly, an ugly ball game. Rocket City and the Barons matched toe for toe for 3 hours and 16 minutes last night. The Trash Pandas saw their 4-game win streak come to a close. They fell to 53-50 on the year, 18-17 in the second half. Meanwhile, Birmingham, they upped their record to 42-62 for the season and 16-19 for the second half. Here's what happened in last night's ball game. Rocket City actually jumped out to an early lead. They would get one in the first. Leadoff walk to Nick Rodriguez. He would steal second, move to third on a soft rollout to second by Arjun Namala in his first at-bat as a Trash Panda. That moved Rodriguez to third, and then Jake Monroe drove him in with a sac fly to right. That would make it a 1-0 ball game, and for Monroe, his 24th RBI as a Trash Panda. After that, Rocket City would tack on an unearned run in the second inning. By the way, this all came against Drew Thorpe, Major League rehabber for the Barons, who again displayed that beautiful changeup, but Rocket City was able to hit him a little bit. Caleb Bartolero led off the second inning with a single into center field. On the play, Burrows, the center fielder, Ryan Burrows, booted the ground ball. It kicked away from him, allowing Bartolero to take second. He would then score on a seeing eye single to center by Jacob Cozart in his first Trash Pandas at bat. That was RBI number 45 for the season for Cozart, and that would make it a 2-0 Rocket City lead. Rocket City was going with a bullpen game. Lucas Knowles got the start, and it wasn't a work of art. A lot of contact, a lot of deep counts, but at the end of the day, Knowles, 3 shutout innings to get Rocket City started. However, after that, it went all downhill for the Trash Pandas. Bryce Osmond came in and really scuffled. In the 4th inning, he allowed 10 men to come to the plate and also allowed 5 runs to cross for the Mern. Anthony DePino led off the 4th inning with a double. He would stay at second after a walk to Colby Shelton. A single by Ryan Burrows would then load the bases with no one out before a bases-loaded hit by pitch to James Taussig would force in DePino and make it a 2-1 ball game. After that, Grant McGill struck out swinging, and then Jose Colmenares would ground into what appeared to be an inning-ending double play ball to the third baseman, Jake Monroe. Monroe fielded it easily, went to Nick Rodriguez at second for the fielder's choice, but Rodriguez's turn over to the first baseman, Caleb Bartolero, was wide of the bag. Bartolero was able to knock it down, but he had to come off the base to do it. That prevented the double play from being turned. It should have been turned. It wasn't. In to score from third was Colby Shelton. That tied the ball game up at 2 apiece. And with runners at the corners and now 2 away, it was Dylan Campbell who provided the big blow with a resounding 2-run double into right center field. That would score both Burrows and Colmenares. And just like that, the Barons led it by the score of 4-2. Later in the inning, a walk to Caleb Bonnemer and then a throwing error by Rodriguez off the bat of Alec Briley allowed Campbell to score from second. And Rocket City was down 5-2 at that point. Departing during that inning was Osmond. He went 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 5 runs for the Mern. He walked one, struck out another in taking the loss. The fall of 2-3 on the year. After that, it was all Barons. They would tack on 3 more in the 7th inning. Leadoff double by Briley after a strikeout to Anthony DePino. Colby Shelton drew a walk, as did Ryan Burrows. That loaded the bases with 1 out against Chris Cortez before Taussig came through with a 2-run single. That made it a 7-2 ball game. Moving to second on the play was Burrows. He would then score on another RBI single by Grant McGill, and that capped the scoring for Birmingham. It was 8-2 at that point. Rocket City tried to get back in the ball game in the 8th inning. Leadoff walk to Juan Flores. He would move to third on a single by Jake Thompson. A wild pitch would ultimately score Flores to make it a 8-3 ball game. Then after Nick Rodriguez struck out and Arjun Namala drew a walk, a single by Jake Monroe would load the bases with 1 out. But from there, it was reliever it was Morris Austin who came into the game. He struck out Eddie Micheletti Jr. swinging, and he got Tucker Flint to strike out looking, and that ended that threat as Rocket City was still down 8-3. Trash Pandas would pick up 1 more run in the 9th inning. Caleb Bartolero would double, and then with 2 away, Jake Thompson would single to score Bartolero. That made it 8-4. before Nick Rodriguez rolled out to second to end the ball game. Here were your totals for Birmingham: 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. They left 11 men on base. As for Rocket City, 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 6. Jackson Kelly gets the win in relief for the Barons as he moves to 1-2. 2 perfect innings. He struck out 3 of the 6 men he faced. And Morris Austin, nice job by him as he picked up his second save of the year. Inning and 2/3, 2 hits, a run was earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Time of game was 3 hours and 16 minutes, and the attendance 2,636. Again, Rocket City loses to Birmingham last night by the final score of 8-4 as their 4-game winning streak comes to a close. There's a look at what happened last night here at Toyota Field. We'll take a break on the pregame show. Come back, take a look at the Southern League standings entering play today. That's coming up right after this as you listen to Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And Josh Carey back with you on the pregame show as we wrap things up. Again, Rocket City getting set to take on Birmingham. Let's take a look at the Southern League standings as we enter play today. In the North, Knoxville and Rocket City tied atop at 18 and 17. Knoxville has won 3 in a row. Birmingham playing good ball. They're 16 and 19. They're 2 out and they've won 7 of 10. Chattanooga, though, struggling. They are 12 and 23, 6 off the pace. They have lost 8 of 10, including 3 in a row. In the South, Biloxi and Pensacola are tied at 20 and 15. Blue Wahoos have actually lost 3 straight. Montgomery playing good ball, 19 and 16. They're a game back, and they've won 4 in a row. Columbus 17 and 18. They are 3 out, and they have lost 7 of 10. There's a look at the standings around the Southern League. We will take one more break. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and first pitch of tonight's ball game between Rocket City and Birmingham. That's all coming up right after this as you listen to Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Toyota Field. Josh Carey joined alongside Chris Harris as we're ready tonight for Rocket City against Birmingham. Want to welcome those of you watching on ABTV. Great to have you guys back with us, as well as those of you watching on Way More Television 31.6, and those of you listening on ESPN 97.7 The Zone, as well as Talk Radio WZZN. And for the Trash Pandas, Chris, it's been a wild week. A lot of trades involving the Angels, obviously, and a lot of new faces coming to Toyota Field this week, and a chance really to restart the farm system, I think, for the Halos and for Rocket City.
I think there's no doubt the Angels got better at the trade deadline on Monday, and now a chance for Angels fans to watch potentially their future here in Rocket City as Arjun Namala, who's going to be playing shortstop tonight, Eddie Micheletti Jr., who's in left. You've got Jacob Cozart, who is behind the plate, and then some guys who made the move up to Double-A this past Monday as well. So the future's bright, and of course today actually Arjun Namala moved up to number 30 in the MLB Top 100 list on Baseball America. So the ceiling is very, very high, and just an exciting time, at least to look forward for Angels fans, which they haven't had an opportunity to do much lately.
Well, we'll talk a lot more about that as we get into this ball game. First things first, we have our national anthem, which is performed by Janice Knapp. Let's go down the field for that right now.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets recollect the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And that was Janice Knapp with the national anthem. And with that, we are ready to go. As you can see, the wind is blowing in here at Toyota Field. We had a little pop-up shower around noontime this afternoon. That has since dissipated. If nothing else, it's really cooled things off nicely on this humid evening. And going to the bump for Rocket City will be Nate Sneed, the former Tennessee Volunteer. 3-5, a 4.53 ERA, coming off a fine performance last Friday against Columbus. Here's the lineup he'll face from the Barons, who are the Double-A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. They are 42-62 on the season, 16-19 for the second half. Dylan Campbell going to lead things off and patrol right field. Alec Briley will hit second and play first. Caleb Bonnemer in the 3 position. He's the designated hitter. He's one of their top prospects, although he has struggled this week, 0 of 8. Colby Shelton will hit cleanup and play third. Ryan Burrows in the 5 spot. He's over at short. He's got 3 hits in the series. Samuel Zavala is in the 6th spot. He'll be in center field. Jorge Corona bats 7th. He'll do the catching, making his series debut. James Taussig will hit 8th and play left. And batting 9th for the Barons will be second baseman Jordan Sprinkle. Defense for the Trash Pandas, left to right. It goes Micheletti, followed by Skull and De Jesus. Around the infield, third to first, Fontanelle, Namala, followed by Rodriguez and Bartolero. Behind the plate is Cozart, and again on the hill is Nate Sneed. Your umpires for tonight's game, behind the plate calling the balls and strikes, is Justin Hilton. At first is Garrett Nelson. He's the crew chief. And your third base umpire is Brandon Spivak. So the throw goes down to second. We are ready to go with this one, and again, it's turned into a lovely night for baseball. And again, we'll continue to introduce you to some of these new Angel farmhands as we go through this ball game. Speaking of the Angels, want to congratulate them. They pick up a win over the Orioles earlier today by the score of 4-1. Our old buddy Sammy Natera Jr. with the save in that contest.
First save as a big leaguer.
So standing in is Campbell to lead things off, 231 with 10 homers and 47 driven in. He is 2 of 7 for the series. And the first pitch by Sneed. There's a strike. It's 0-1. First pitch is at 6:35, and the game time temperature is 80 degrees. And like we said, the wind really whipping in from left center at this hour. Here's the 0-1. Swung and shot foul off to the right. Quickly 0-2 as Sneed is ahead in the count. Like we mentioned, Nate coming off a fine performance on Friday against Columbus, a game where he got a no decision, but he only allowed 3 base runners. That one socketed into right center. Back is De Jesus. That's over his head. Headed for second will be Campbell. It actually bounced over the wall. That'll be a ground rule double, and that's a bad break. Got ahead 0-2, couldn't finish him off. That was very similar to the 2-run double that Campbell hit yesterday that gave the Barons the lead for good. And he starts tonight with a double against Sneed.
That was a slider he left up for Nate. See that fastball. That's his best pitch. Locates it well. It's very, very, very good. Slider, curveball, changeup. Then he has a really nice cutter as well.
And it's 1-0 to Briley, 257, 21 homers, and 64 driven in. But on Friday against Columbus, he allowed a bloop single and then 2 home runs. And that's why he was down 3-0 when he departed. But those were his 3 base runners over 6 innings. Got to keep the ball down as the 1-0 is cut on and missed. Going to go to a ball and strike. Allowed 3 hits in that game, 4 strikeouts, and again, walked none. He's faced Birmingham one other time, and it was arguably his worst outing as a trash panda. It was right after the All-Star break. That one hit foul past first. It's 1-2. In that game, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 4 earned runs. He struck out 3, walked 5, and I remember that game because you talked about his fastball. Could not spot it in that ball game for some reason, and he eventually got hit very, very hard.
It turned into a quality start, but you're right, kind of got off to that inauspicious start with those 2 home runs allowed, but he's kind of settled in. The first 5 starts were a little bit tough for him, but the last 6 he's been one of the best in the league.
That was a slider that missed. Going to go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, Rocket City tied atop the Northern Division entering play today with Knoxville. Now, Knoxville's already won the first half of the Southern League divisional title. So with that said, Rocket City looking to stave off both Birmingham and Chattanooga for the second playoff spot. As that one socketed into left, charging in, making a Bill High catch is Micheletti. And back to second will go Campbell. Briley hit that one 85 off the bat, tried to inside out the ball, but a good jump by Micheletti to make the play. And so 1 gone, and here's Caleb Bonnemer. 250, 9 homers, and 28 driven in. Again, this is one of the top prospects in the White Sox system. Having a tough week, though, 0 of 8 with 4 Ks. And it's 0-1.
A good look there at Nate Steed. Mentioned that kind of slow start that he had in Double-A, but last 6 starts, he comes in with a 3.16 earned run average in those last 6 starts, 10 earned runs, 26 in the 3rd innings.
1-1. Also a Southern League Pitcher of the Week honoree. He did that the last week of June when he went 5 shutout innings against Columbus in a 5-1 victory. Only allowed 1 hit in that game. And it's hit back behind everyone, 1-2. Out of the University of Tennessee, like we mentioned, he and Christian Moore were teammates. In fact, Christian Moore, and Ben Joyce were all teammates together at the same time in Knoxville. Tony Vitello, of course, the current Giants manager, was his head coach for the Volunteers as well. Shaded up the middle is Nick Rodriguez at second. In the dirt, great backhand pick that time by Cozart. Jacob Kozar, one of those brought over on Monday. He from the Guardians in exchange for Joe Adell. But we heard it. John Mozeliak says he wants himself some catchers. Well, he's got a bunch of them, and he's got 2 quality defensive catchers on the active roster right now in Kozart and Flores. That one line down the left field line. Fair ball. That's going to go into the corner and score a run. At first, Bonnemer, he'll motor for second, and he'll pull in with an RBI double. Campbell scores easily. RBI number 29 for Bonnemer, and Birmingham out to the early lead.
Yeah, it's his first, as you mentioned, struggling, his first hit of the series, and didn't necessarily hit it right on the button. It was off the end of the bat, but enough to get it down that left field line for Bonnemer. It's kind of interesting to talk about that new Baseball America Top 100. He's number 28, and Namala comes in at number 30, so two guys that are infielders that are pretty highly rated in the White Sox and Angels system.
Here's Colby Shelton, 218, 12 homers, 38 RBI. Goes after the first pitch. Easy play for Bartolero, who'll take it to the bag. 2 away as Bonnemer moves second to third. And 2 outs for Ryan Burrows. Burrows showed some flashes yesterday. He's 3 of 8 for the series, 259 for the year with an RBI as you look at the replay on that ground out. But Burrows had a nice game yesterday with a couple of hits and 2 runs scored. He'll stand in. This guy out of Panama City, Panama, free agent signee back in 2022. And it's 1-0 to him.
Yeah, not a good start with that fastball for Snead. He's thrown 15 pitches so far.
One thing you'll notice, though, is he works very, very quickly. That one off the plate, 2-0. Sometimes I wonder if he works too quickly, maybe for his own good. Tip foul, it's 2-1.
Yesterday was Rocket City's longest game of the year, 3 hours and 16 minutes.
So you're saying we shouldn't complain?
Well, let's just say they used every bit of the pitch clock last night, both those two starters.
2-2 now. So way ahead of the count here is, well, even with the count now is Snead as he'll try to end the inning. At third, Bonnemer, he picked up an RBI double moments ago. To short, Namala fields. Good play, high throw over the head of Bartolero, and a run will score. Let's wait and see how they score that. Burrows does run well. He had to shift his body back to his right, did Namala, in order to make the throw, and he overshot Bartolero.
You see the frustration there with Nate Snead. You get that ground ball, and unfortunately play doesn't get made. But you're right, running tough down that line. Hard was Burrows, and we'll see how it's scored. We know Namala's a plus defender, and the arm's supposed to be one of the best parts of his arsenal.
Right on left, it's a strike. It's 0-1 to Zavala. I didn't even see the ball go into the first base dugout. So taking second is Burrows. So there will be at least an error. Question is, will they also give Burrows a hit? He had to throw back across his body, did Namala. But Rocket City in an early hole after being down for most of the night yesterday. There's a look at Burrows. Now 4 hits for the series. And that's his first RBI through the first 3 games as well.
They do call that a straight throwing error.
Okay. So a 2-base error, take away the RBI for Burrows. And now it goes to 2-2, and once again a chance for Snead to end the inning, but you can see that graphic in your upper left-hand corner. 23 pitches so far as he tries to end the top of the first inning. Got him. Went with the fastball high and away. Zavala goes down on hacks. Strikeout number 1 for Snead, and the Barons are done in the first, but they do get 2 runs, 1 earned on 2 hits. There was an error, and 1 man left on base. At the end of Bottom of the first inning, 2 for Birmingham in the top half, and now Rocket City will come to the plate with a record of 53-50 overall, 18-17 for the second half. Nick Rodriguez going to lead it off, play second, hitting .270 with 3 homers and 50 driven in, and he whiffs at the first pitch. 0-1 by Lucas Gordon, 3-6, a 5.15 ERA. Rocket City has seen him several times during the season. The 0-1 outside, it goes to a ball and a strike. Arjun Namala will wait on deck and play short. He's hitting second. Batting third is Eddie Micheletti Jr. He's out in left. Tucker Flint will back cleanup and be the designated hitter. Caleb Artolero with 3 hits so far in the series. He'll play first and bat fifth. As it's shot foul by Rodriguez, going to go 2-1-2. Jacob Kozar will hit 6 and do the catching. Randy DeJesus will make his Trash Pandas debut tonight. He'll bat 7th and patrol right field. Anthony Skoll in the 8th position out in center, and Cole Fontenelle will hit 9th. He is the third baseman. Count at 1-2. Gordon delivers. And he missed away with fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The defense for the Barons, left to right, Taussig, Zavala, and Campbell. Third to first, Shelton, Burrows, Sprinkle, and Briley. Behind the plate, Corona, and on the hill again is Lucas Gordon. As whiffing at the 2-2 is Nick Rodriguez. That was a changeup down and away. Pretty pitch that time by Gordon, and out number 1 in the first inning. Fans, get all your Trash Pandas gear online at shoptrashpandas.com or in the store at the Junkyard Team Store at Toyota Field or the Trash Panda store located on Hughes Road. And you can get a jersey just like that one. That's our blue halo jersey. We typically wear that on Fridays. Here is Arjun Namala, and the count 0-1 to him. Went 0 for 3 last night in his Angels debut. Also drew a walk. Now, if he swings the bat here, some of you might be a little miffed. He's got a very unique follow-through. Tying away 1-1. He is the first generation Indian American drafted in the first round. He was number 20 overall during the 2023 draft, and like a lot of Indian natives, here's the 1-1. Pop foul, it goes to 1-2. He, as a child, grew up playing cricket. Now, he didn't grow up in India, but he grew up in Tampa, but his parents, of course, are both Indian. He was introduced to cricket, and when you look at that swing, it's got a very cricket type of style to it. Just missing away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I talked to him about it before the game. He said, no, that's just kind of the way it is. It has nothing to do with cricket. That's just naturally who I am. So, sort of somewhat interesting. As Gordon tries to finish him off. Boy, you can see it, though, just shoot off his bat when you'll see it on the field during batting practice.
One of the comps I saw for Namala, which surprised me, but yet when you look at that swing and you project him as a power-hitting middle infielder, Alfonso Soriano.
Okay. Hit foul to the screen, going to stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's just very unique, but here's the deal. He's been using it for the first 3 years of his professional career with the Blue Jays, and at New Hampshire this year, he was hitting .265 with 8 homers and 43 driven in, so at least for now it works. As it goes to 3-2. And as you can see, he knows how to work the count as well.
He's projected to be a plus power guy at the major league level, and I mean, when he was drafted, you talk about, which he's really proud to be that.
In the dirt, good at bat by Namala as he forces a walk out of Gordon. Walk number 1, and 1 on with 1 out for Eddie Micheletti Jr.
I was going to say, he's extremely proud of being the first Indian American player to be drafted in the first round, native born, and for him, I think he's going to continue to develop, and a lot of fun to watch.
Here's another fella that came over in the Jose Soriano deal, Eddie Micheletti Jr., who whiffs at the first pitch. Getting the fastball by him was Gordon. It's 0-1. He was an 8th round selection. This guy has a lot of pop. 14 homers and 45 RBI at New Hampshire this season. That, of course, the Double-A for the Blue Jays. Namala leads at first. And pitch fouled away. It's 0-2. Namala 4 of 6 in the stolen base department. Micheletti had a double last night. It was 108 off the bat, so this guy's got some pop as well. Former Virginia Tech Hokie as he'll dig back in.
He's a business guy. Every time I see him walking around, he's got business always on his mind.
1-2 now. He's always busy, isn't he? Always headed to do something, but that's good. He's a worker bee, if you will, as the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
And I've seen him on the hip of Namala, which makes sense. They both came over from Toronto.
Yeah, they're kind of going through all this together. You got to think, especially for a guy like Namala, only 20 years old, his head had to have been spinning earlier this week as that one is popped up into shallow center. Burrows out, Zavala in. Burrows will make the squeeze, and that'll be out number 2 as Namala goes back to first. In fact, Argent flat out told me, Monday, it threw him through a loop, but after that, he just kind of settled back into things, right? He got here, he got settled in. He didn't play on Tuesday. Got his first game under his belt yesterday, and now you're back into the swing of things here on Thursday. Here's Tucker Flint, 241 with 10 home runs and 59 RBI. And it's 1-0 to Tucker, who's been a part of our organization, meaning the Trash Pandas, the last 4 seasons. He's also bounced around a couple of times at the AAA level. Plays first base as well as all 3 outfield positions. And it goes to a ball and a strike. Had a rough one last night, 0 of 4 with 4 Ks as Gordon trying to meander through the first inning. Wind continues to drift in as they play him straight away and deep. Holding the runner at first is Briley. Runner will go, pitches high, throw to second. That one in the dirt, it skips past into center, and Namala will stay right there. Frankly, I think if Burrows handles it, maybe they get him. It wasn't a great jump by Namala, but the throw did get away from Burrows. We'll take a look at it again as he'll pick up his 5th stolen base in 7 opportunities. Yeah, been close.
Yeah. In 19 combined between Vancouver and New Hampshire. At least gives him 20 now combined on his minor league season.
Yeah, he had 4 at New Hampshire. I should have been clear on that as the count is at 2-1. That one popped up into deep right field. Going back, Campbell neared the track, onto the track, makes the catch, and the inning is over. That ball had more carry than I anticipated, but Flint flies out to deep right, and Rocket City will strand a runner at second base. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 1, 2-0 Birmingham. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Top of the Northrop Grumman second inning, 2-0 Birmingham with the early lead. Josh Carey, Chris Harris with you from Toyota Field, and due up for the Barons, bottom third of the order. It'll be Corona, Taussig, and Sprinkle. The first pitch slapped into left field by Jorge Corona. The .220 hitter with 7 homers and 21 RBI gets his night off to a good start with a single into left. And 1-0 with no one out for Taussig. 167, no homers, 3 driven in. Before he steps in, let's give our stations a chance to identify themselves. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Taussig stands in with a runner at first, no one out. By the way, fans, Trash Panda scored 4 runs last night. You can claim 6 free wings on us at Walk On Sports Bistro. Dine-in only, offers valid 24 hours after the previous day's game. As the first pitch is outside, it's 1-0 on Taussig, who went 2 of 4 yesterday, drove in 3 runs. Sneed had trouble spotting that fastball in the first inning. Let's see if he can get back on track. 2-0.
Saw Jake Thompson earlier. I said, and that was a clutch RBI in the 9th inning last night. He kind of looked at me. I said, yeah, you got the full 6 free wings.
That's right.
At walk-ons. He had no idea.
Yeah, for those of you in Los Angeles, that's a little sports bar that's right next to our ballpark. It's actually a big chain throughout the Southeast as the pitch is down and in. And Sneed struggling here in the early going. 3-0 on Taussig.
Speaking of guys that are new to the Southeast, Tyler Brimner, we're really going to have to educate him on traditions of the South. California guy.
That one roped. Oh, it hit the runner, and that'll be an out. There's a break. That was going to head into right field, but it caught Corona, who was right between first and second. It smacked him, I believe, on his left leg, and that's a huge, huge break. That'll go in the books as a single. And then Corona is out on the play. I think it'll go in the books as a 3 unassisted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, closest defender. That's tough luck for Corona, but good luck for Nate Sneed.
By the way, a little wrinkle a lot of people might not know. If Bartolero was playing in front of the runner, that would go down as a hit. But because he was behind him, it's an out as the pitch is a check swing foul. And it's 0-1. For what it's worth, 4 hits now for the Barons as we look at the replay. Yeah, right on the right shin or ankle. So 0-1 on the right-handed hitting Sprinkle. 271, 2 homers, 18 driven in. This guy missed about a month due to injury. Sneed fires over to first, and Taussig is back standing. Sprinkle, he's another California kid. He's out of Indio, which is part of the Coachella Valley, not too far from Palm Springs.
To UC Santa Barbara.
Pitch is lobbed into left center. That's going to get down for a hit. Runner to second. He'll stop there as getting it back in as Skull. But right now, Nate Sneed not fooling anyone. 3 consecutive singles, including the one by Taussig that hit Corona. But a very inauspicious start to this Northrop Grumman second inning.
Sneed's not missing many bats his first time through the lineup. 5 hits. Have to do something to mix things up a bit.
Well, here's Dylan Campbell. He led off the ball game with a double, later came in to score. It's already 2-0 Birmingham as the right-handed hitter stands in. And it's 0-1. Campbell came from a pretty big baseball school, University of Texas guy. In fact, he hails from Houston, involved in a trade with the Phillies. Right on right. And it goes to 1-1.
Was that Derek Hill deal back
Yes,
on
it was.
June the 11th?
So that was just a couple of months ago. He's relatively new to the White Sox system. A lot of the farmhands for the White Sox are right now at the major league level. They lead the AL Central. 2 balls and a strike. They did a nice job. It was just a couple of years ago. They finished with the worst record in Major League history. Now here they are knocking on the door of the playoffs.
That's an interesting roadmap that Angels fans can maybe look towards as well, the patience in building a farm system.
Sneed fires away. High and in with a slider, 3-1, and you can just see Nate, boy, he's really fighting it right now. So Campbell should see a pitch to hit. He'll dig back in, the right-handed hitter. He walked him. So that pitch misses down and away. Toss it goes second to third. Sprinkle first to second, and that'll be walk number 1. And let's see if that elicits a visit. Jogging out there is Cozart. And yeah, Tim Levesque is going to head out there and have a word with Sneed as the bases are now loaded with one out in Birmingham with a chance to blow this one wide open. Trash Panda fans, if you want to continue following the Angels' top prospects and tomorrow's stars wherever you go, then be sure to download the Valley Sports Live app. It's hands down the best way to watch minor league baseball. Get every game at your fingertips all season long, plus real-time enhanced stats and an interactive bingo game you can play right along with every pitch. You can watch from your phone or your TV, and the best part, it's completely free. Just head to the App Store and download Valley Sports Live today as the meeting is now over, and Tim will head back to the dugout. He has done a tremendous job with this pitching staff for Rocket City, but they've scuffled the last couple of nights, and Sneed trying to find his way through this second inning. Here's Alec Briley, who lined to left his first time, and he whiffs at the first fastball. That one he took a little something off at 86. It's 0-1.
That's it labels it as a fastball. That is his changeup. That he does throw pretty hard for a changeup.
1-1 now. Briley does run rather well, but if you get him to hit it sharply enough, you might turn two. They'll play him straight away and deep in the outfield. 2-1. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you mentioned Tim Levesque, who went out there for a visit, and he's done a fantastic job. A Cardinal connection, just like John Mozeliak, coming from the Cardinals organization, his first year with the Angels.
3-1. No one throwing in the Rocket City bullpen. They're trying to get Sneed to fight through this one. Briley will dig back in. You got to groove one here. He does. It's ripped at second. Catch made. Throw back to first. In time for the double play. What a huge break. He hit it on the button, 93 off the bat, but right at Rodriguez, and then caught between first and second was Dylan Campbell. How do you like this? A line double play and a player hit on a bat. Bottom of the Northrop Grumman second inning. Rocket City is trailing at 2-0, and the first pitch to Caleb Bartolero is going to miss low, and it goes to 1-0. Caleb had 3 hits. Actually, already has 3 hits for the series. 253 with 5 homers and 27 driven in. As the next pitch sent into right field, drifting toward the line is Campbell. And there's one away in the Northrop Grumman second inning. Bartolero, 253 with 5 homers and 27 driven in. Fans joined the Trash Pandas for Paw Patrol Day at Toyota Field. Kids will love a special appearance by Chase, plus bid on a game-worn jersey via auction. It's a tail-wagging good time for the whole family.
That's presented by Chase Bank as well, so that's a perfect tie-in. Chase from Paw Patrol.
1-0 here to Jacob Cozart. Again, he came over from the Guardians for Joe Adell on Tuesday, or on Monday rather. Had an RBI single last night. And it will go to 1-1. He's another ACC guy. Played for Elliott Avent at NC State, one of the great all-time greats in college baseball. He actually just retired this past spring. In fact, got to catch up, did Kozar with Avent earlier in the week. It's been a rather whirlwind for him the last couple of days as the pitch is outside. Going to go to 2-1. It'll be interesting watching him and Flores split the catching duties as we head down the stretch. Off the line at third is Shelton as Gordon. That one sent into deep right. Campbell will turn and not even try. Change up middle in, and he made him pay. His 11th of the year plus RBI number 46. Rocket City cuts the deficit in half. It's 2-1.
Welcome to the Angels, young man. What a great swing from the left side of the dish for Kozart. And mentioned yesterday, of course, yesterday made his debut as a DH, but what a great problem to have when you have two talented young catchers like Kozart and Juan Flores.
And by the way, at the major league level, you got another pretty good one in Moises Ballesteros. It's catching heavy as the first pitch is a strike to Randy DeJesus. This is a guy I'm going to have a lot of fun watching. I saw him at spring training earlier this year. Very impressive looking ball player. We'll see what he can do here at Double-A. He was .244 at Tri-City this season. And he whiffs at the next pitch. It's 0-2, 19 homers and 63 driven in. I know the average isn't great, but the power numbers are there. You had a good comp for him, though, yesterday. You said Raul Mondesi, right?
Raul Mondesi. There's a name from the past. Bringing up 90s, 2000s guys in Soriano and Mondesi today.
Tap foul of the third base line. I saw him during batting practice as well, and he's impressive. Some of those shots are majestic.
Yeah, he's one of the guys I've really been looking forward to seeing. 19 home runs. That's second in the entire Angels farm system so far this year.
0-2. Went high with the fastball that time. They had Gordon and still able to get on it was DeJesus. Going to stay at 0-2. And if nothing else for Randy, this will be a nice introduction for him at the Double-A level. I can see him coming right back here next season. Off the line at first, Briley. Got him. Four-seam fastball. Crowd doesn't like it, but it did catch the lower inside corner according to the computer. That'll be strikeout number 2 for Gordon, out number 2 in the Northrop Grumman second for Anthony Skull. Fans, the mission at Northrop Grumman is to be at the forefront of technology and innovation, delivering superior capability in tandem with maximized cost efficiencies. The security solutions they provide help secure freedoms for our nation as well as those of our allies. Here's Skull, 229, a homer and 5 driven in. It's 0-1. Now Anthony, he's another impressive player in the Angels system, just has not had as much time to develop. He was out with an ankle injury for a little more than a month earlier this summer. And he's down in the count 0-2 as Gordon trying to turn it on after that home run by Kozar.
It was a slow slider. Skull got off to a very slow start, one for his first 17, but then he went on a 7-game hitting streak and then unfortunately hurt the ankle.
And he goes down on 3 pitches. Gordon with his third strikeout, back-to-back Ks for him, and Rocket City will settle for 1 on the homer by Kozart. Run is earned. It's the only hit of the inning. No errors, no one left. End of 2. It's 2-1 Birmingham. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. throw back to first off the bat of Alec Briley for a double play to get out of the inning. Here's Bonnemer. Roped foul. It's 0-1. Bonnemer drove in a run with a double to left his first time up. He later came in to score. So let's see if Snead can turn things around. Maybe that double play ball will help him out, as the next pitch is a curveball that'll miss low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sometimes you need something like that to turn a guy around. Bonnemer now 1 of 9 for the series. And it will go to 2-1. Same 2 teams for the weekend. We play 3 more against these guys Friday through Sunday. For those of you on Angels TV, we'll be back at it on Saturday. As it goes to 3-1, you'll be able to catch us after the Marlins and Angels go toe-to-toe in an afternoon tilt from Miami. That's where the Angels are headed next. That one driven into center. Back skull, though. 1 out.
Get a chance to see the top prospect in the organization in Tyler Bremner on Saturday as well and make his Double-A debut.
Meanwhile, for those of you who will watch the Angels this weekend, that'll be the return of Zach Neto to his hometown, former Miami product. As Colby Shelton will step in. He rolled to first his first time. And the curveball's in there, 0-1, so he's showing the deuce a little more is Snead, and he's able to get that pitch over. And it goes to 1-1. He's up to 48 pitches now. Yeah, you got Bremner tomorrow. By the way, he'll face off against Shane Murphy. He's a pretty good one for the Barons. That pitch just missed down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Tomorrow, meanwhile, if you have a chance to tune in on MILB TV, Kyle Robinson, as it goes to 2-2, formerly of the Pirates organization, came over for Kirby Yates. He'll be making the start for Rocket City against Juan Carrella. 2-2 on the left-handed hitter as Shelton will step back in. Got him. 4-seam fastball just nipped the lower outside corner. Shelton is rung up, and that'll be strikeout number 2 for Snead. 2 up, 2 gone in the 3rd inning for Ryan Burrows, who reached on an error his first time.
And nice location right on that out bottom of the zone on the inside corner. Got the call.
So here's Burrows in a right-on-right matchup. Whiffed at it. It's 0-1. Fans Defense Pest Solutions is a proud sponsor of Rocket City Trash Pandas baseball. On a service you can trust to protect what matters most. That's Defense Pest Solutions. Fought off to the right, 0-2, and a chance for Snead to put up a 1-2-3 inning.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Thinking of the Angels, Ryan Johnson walked a career high 5, but only gave up 1 run.
Curveball misses low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, we got to see Ryan earlier in the year for about a month. Curveball, tap, foul, pass third, 1-2. And I've said this before, if there's a silver lining to having as tough of a season as the Angels are on the field this year, a lot of those young guys are going to get some reps. I'm talking about the Luke Murphys and the Ryan Johnsons and people like that, Moises Ballesteros. Guys are going to get a regular chance to do what they do over the final 2 months of the season, just to give an idea to the front office of where they're at. Pitch down and away, going to go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Snead, third base side of the rubber. Got him. 4-seam fastball. It was actually off the plate, but he got the call from home plate umpire Justin Hilton, and a nice response by Nate Snead. 1-2-3 go the Barons in the 3rd inning as he strikes out 2 of the 3 men he faces. We'll head to the bottom half. It's still 2-1 Birmingham. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. We move to the bottom of the third inning. 2-1, Birmingham leads it. Due up for Rocket City, the 9-1-2 hitters, Fontanelle, Rodriguez, and Namala. As it's 1-0 to Fontanelle. Cole 180, 2 homers, 19 driven in. Now, for those of you watching on Angels television, if this name sounds familiar, Cole Fontanelle, it should. He was one of the top prospects of the Angels system just a couple of years ago. As he fouls the pitch away, it's 1-1. He was probably on his way to making a major league appearance in 2024 when he suffered a horrific leg injury at Birmingham, of all places. That shut him down for the year. That was back in early May, and he never was able to recover from that. The fastball actually hit him. That came in high and tight and looked like it caught Fontanelle on the left elbow guard. But, of course, if you remember, Anthony Rendon got hurt that year. There was a hole open at third base. You got to think he would have had a shot. It just never came to be. So he'll trot to first, and a good start to the third inning. 1 on with no one out as we go back to the top of the order. And Nick Rodriguez, who struck out swinging to lead off the first inning.
See if he tries to lay down a bunt here.
It goes to 1-0 as Shelton does play up at third, but Rodriguez showed no indication. Fontanelle, even with that leg injury, he can run a little bit. 5 of 6 in the stolen base department. Shaded up the middle is the shortstop Burrows. That one sent into deep left center. On the move, Zavala. He chases it down for out number 1, and having to hustle back to first is Fontanelle. He'll make it with a slide. As off the bat, I thought that was going to split the gap, but it hung up there just long enough, and Zavala was able to chase it down. So 1 away in the third inning for Arjun Namala, who drew a walk and stole a base his first time up. Fans, it was City Cafe Diner it was Metro Diner that fed the Trash Pandas front office earlier today. Metro Diner, where the locals eat. It's one of the diners. So Namala will stand in. A lot of room on the right side as Briley holds the runner aboard. Snap throw, and back in there safely is Fontanelle. And now time is called as, did he come up a little gimpy? I think he did. He dove into first base, and now Garrett Nelson has asked for time as Cole was walking something off. He'll stay in the ball game. Not sure what he did, but he'll lead away at first. Again, Jake Monroe, he was a late scratch from tonight's ball game. Runner will go. Pitch cut on and missed. And the throw will be not in time. So I don't know if he really was hurt or not, but he looked good on the stolen base. Fontanelle with his 6th of the year and 7 opportunities, and the tying run in scoring position.
You know, I love Cole to death. He's great at a lot of things. He's always a little clumsy, but it gets the job done. Nice work to get in scoring position, and a team that's really done a lot of good scouting this week to run.
They've been running a lot more the last few weeks, which is probably one of the reasons why they're playing better. That helps open up the offense as it goes to a ball and a strike. By the way, one thing Chris mentioned, he talked about Cole maybe being a little clumsy. That helmet will always come off his head whenever he's running. That is a guarantee. Namala will stand in. RBI opportunity for the right-handed hitter. That one shot into center. Zavala going back over his head. That'll one-hop the wall. Fontanelle got a late start, but he'll come around. The throw will not be made, and it's tied up at 2. That one 108 off the bat, and he hit it 381 as it sailed over the head of Zavala. His first RBI as a Trash Panda.
I don't know if it picked up on the crowd mic as good as it did in our ears, but holy smokes, that ball exploded out the bat of Namala. And wow, yeah, that's a little glimpse of what this young man can do.
And it's such a gentle swing too, but like you mentioned, the ball just explodes off the barrel as it goes to 1-0 on Micheletti, who popped to short his first time. So Rocket City, it's been a struggle here the first 3 innings, but here we are tied up at 2 in the bottom of the third. That hit, by the way, the second of the game for Rocket City. They wheel Micheletti around to the right. That one was sent into right field, but he got under it. Campbell camps under it. And Namala will tag. He's going to come toward third, and he'll make it standing up. So Micheletti flies to right. Namala second to third. And the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 2 gone for Tucker Flint. He flew to right his first time.
Uh-oh.
And, yeah, we're going to have time called, as I think that's the pitching coach for Birmingham as well as the team trainer that is, they are headed out there. That's John Kovalik, the pitching coach, and then your trainer is A.J. Smith. Not sure what happened to Gordon here.
Yeah, now here comes manager Pat Leland, which, if you're familiar with that last name, Leland, he is the son of former big league skipper, a few different teams, Jimmy Leland.
Of course, Jim was also was a coach for a long time on Tony La Russa's staff, his first go around with the White Sox as well. Not sure what Gordon did. And looks like he'll stay in the game. While we have a moment, fans, MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcasts of every game, Game Day 3D, big inning, and minor league action as well. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. So Gordon says he's okay, and it will be him against Flint with a runner at third and 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning in a 2-2 ball game. And it's 1-0 to Tucker.
He's going out of the windup here with the runner at third base. One thing I saw there, our camera showing, you have to declare, whether you're going to go out of the windup. He did that.
And it goes to 2 balls and no strikes. By the way, Gordon, we forgot to mention this. Last pitched on the 29th at home against Chattanooga. Struggled in that game. 4 1/3 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits. He struck out 3, walked 6. That was a season high. Got a no decision in a 7-6 Birmingham win. As that one misses down and away, it'll go to 3-0 on Flint. Caleb Bartolero waits on deck. Even with the bag at third is Shelton. Hit foul. Boy, he had a pitch to hit, too. Fastball down and away, but Tucker usually punches that to the opposite field. Just couldn't do it that time. The look in. Gordon delivers. Oh, called strike, too. That was way low. We've got a little pitch tracks monitor off our computer screen that we follow, and that pitch was a good, I would say, 6 inches too low. So a mulligan here for Gordon. And that'll be ball 4. So a 2-out walk as Tucker will trot to first. Second walk by Gordon. And that'll put runners at the corners with 2 away for Caleb Bartolero, who flew out to right his first time. And we're looking at that Birmingham pin, and doesn't look like anyone's throwing, but some folks are stretching out.
I'm a little surprised you have your trainer go out and check on him, but nobody's throwing.
That one in the dirt, good backhand pick by Corona. It's 1-0. So Rocket City with a run in the second, another here in the third, and they've tied things up. Caleb out of Troy State University, just down the road in Dothan, about 3 hours away. Oh boy, he was right on that pitch, but he fouled it back. That was a 4-seam fastball that came in at 87. It was high, and Caleb loves him up there, but just couldn't put it in play. It goes to 1-1. I know he was very proud of his Trojans for their run to the College World Series earlier this season. Holding the runner at first is Briley. Runner will go from first. They got him picked off between first and second. Now they got him in a rundown. They're chasing him back to first. Throw to the plate as the runner tries to score, and he's out by a mile is Namala. Good heads-up defense by the second baseman Sprinkle. He could see Namala break for the plate, so he fired it home. And Flint gets caught in the rundown. That'll be a caught stealing on Namala. That will go 1, 3, 4, and then 2, and the inning comes to a close. Rocket City with a run, though. It's earned as they tie it up. They do it on 1 hit. There were no errors in the inning, and 1 runner left on base. Into 3, tied at 2. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. We go to the top of the fourth inning, tied up at 2. Here to give you the play-by-play is Chris Harris.
Nate Sneed, thanks, Josh. By the way, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
How old are you today?
Old, really old.
Okay. So make sure to send Josh. He takes cash, takes whatever. Happy birthday, Josh. 2 balls, no strikes on Zavala, who smashes one down the right field line. That's going to get down into that right field corner as De Jesus digs it out. And into second base with a leadoff double goes Sam Zavala. That's how we begin the top of the fourth inning. So a 1-2-3 third for Nate Sneed, but very inauspicious start to this fourth as Jorge Corona will be the batter, the catcher for the Barons. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors so far for the Barons. 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 error so far for Rocket City. And the new guys are making themselves known here tonight. Solo home run as the curveball, first pitch, a strike to Corona. Solo home run by Jacob Cozart. Playing his first game at catcher for Rocket City, coming over from Cleveland in that trade involving Joe Adell. A RBI double out the bat of Arjun Namala. He takes over as the number 2 prospect in the organization behind Tyler Bremner. Will pitch on Saturday. He'll make his Double-A debut. 0-2 on Corona. 3 strikeouts so far for Sneed, looking for number 4. The 0-2, foul back. Glad to have you with us on ABTV. We'll be back with you on Saturday. As Sneed throws that curveball again, and it's popped up left side of the infield. Fontenelle on the grass, and he'll make the catch for out number 1, a big out. That'll bring in James Taussig. See that curveball. He's really gone to the curveball a lot this second time through the lineup. It's worked out well for him. It's a swing and miss pitch, but also you get a lot of soft contact on that. The fastball is his best pitch. He's had a little bit of trouble locating it again here today, but only 2 runs allowed. As Cozart tested there, he blocks it out of the dirt. I'll tell you what, an impressive home run by Cozart, 404 feet to right center field. And Namala with that double to the gap in right center, 108 off the bat. Kick and the pitch by Sneed, that fastball foul back. Taussig, who was signed last year by the White Sox, a 4th round pick signed as a free agent, former 4th round pick originally. 2 for 4, 3 RBI so far in the series. Pops this one up on the third base side. Foul territory. Cozart leans against that net, but doesn't have a play. Those are the Nats. He was a 4th round pick. Cozart, who gets his first start behind the dish, was the DH yesterday. Of course, you have 2 great young prospects in Flores and Cozart as catchers on this Rocket City roster. A good problem to have, but we'll see how they distribute their playing time. 1-2 pitch fouled away. I would imagine both will get an opportunity to DH, but there's a lot of talent on this ball club. Of course, Jake Monroe is a late scratch to the lineup. Cole Fontenelle to start at third base. Monroe is on a 24-game on-base streak. There's a swing and a miss. A fastball at 95 there from Sneed, his 4th strikeout. He's done a great job since giving up that leadoff double. A pop out and now a strikeout. This one just exploding. That's his best pitch. It's graded out as his best pitch, that fastball. He's had the most success this year. That fastball's been on just like that. First pitch, a strike. Once again, goes to that heater at 93. He'll be in that mid-90s range. Can touch up to 96, 97. Has that in his arsenal as well. That slow curveball's been a good pitch as well. This is outside that time. Goes with a changeup. That went at 88 miles an hour. Jordan Sprinkle, the batter. Singled his first time up. Our game time temperature was only 80 degrees, but 81% humidity. So a very muggy day, especially after we had a little bit of a shower early afternoon. It's like walking into a sauna. You see Snead there. Through 24 pitches in the first inning, sitting at 72 right now in the fourth. Falls behind now 3-1 on Sprinkle. First base is unoccupied. Former California kid out of UC Santa Barbara swings and misses that time. It's 3-2. This Rocket City team hit by 17 transactions between Monday and Tuesday involving promotions, releases, and of course additions. Pitches low, ball four, runner goes, and Cozart has his first caught stealing. As an Angel and as a Trash Panda, as he catches Zavala at third base. Kind of a delayed steal that time, but didn't fool anybody. Side retired. That walk doesn't hurt him. No runs, one hit, one left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Rocket City right now and Birmingham tied at 2. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And it's done every night here at Toyota Field. Get to announce a batter. You're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Caleb Bartolero leads things off. Left at the plate in that third inning. On the caught stealing at the plate. Swing and a miss on that first offering from Gerald Rosado, who takes over on the hill for the Barons. Lucas scored in their starter 3 innings, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Through 53 pitches, 31 strikes. As Rosado misses, and the count evens now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Artillero coming into play on a 6-game hitting streak. He came up on June 23rd. He's been a big part of this offense. Breaks his bat there, flares it out towards right. And there's Campbell for out number 1. He'll make that catch. And one away now for Jacob Cozart, who will get his second plate appearance of the ball game after bringing his first plate appearance at bat today. Here's a look at Rosado. Second appearance of the series, by the way, for Rosado. 31st on the season, 4-3, a 7.91 earned run average. Pitched a scoreless inning, though, on Tuesday. 404-foot home run for Cozart, his first time up. Takes outside for ball 1. He got a baseball family. His dad, Craig, the head baseball coach at High Point. His younger brother, Sam, the closer at Texas. A big swing and a miss. Sinker that time at 94 for Rosado. Rosado, a native of the Dominican Republic, 24 years old. Originally with Kansas City, now with the White Sox. 2-1 now on Cozart. Came over for Joe Adell. That deal with the Cleveland Guardians on Monday. 2-1 pitch. Takes it high, hitter's count, 3 balls and a strike. 3 of these guys in the lineup today, position players that came over in trades, they've really impressed. All just sounds good coming out their bats, which means they're getting some barrels. Fouls away that 3-1 now, a full count, 3-2. Micheletti, had a double yesterday. That was 108. Amala with a double today at 108 off the bat. The 3-2 pitch, that's ball 4. So a good at-bat there by Cozart. He works a 1-out walk, and that'll bring in Randy DeJesus, who struck out his first time up. That was against the starter, Gordon. Number 8 as a trash panda, DeJesus. He was tearing the cover off the baseball in high A, earns a promotion to double A. And a big swing and a miss there on that first pitch. Sinking fastball at 93. Doesn't get cheated on those swings. He's homered in 2 of his last 4 games. That was with Tri-City. Homered in 2 of those last 4 that he played in. Had an unbelievable June. Ground ball towards first, backhanded play, Briley. They'll get the out at second, but that's it. So a fielder's choice. And erases Cozart out there at second base. 3-6 on the putout. And 2 away now for Anthony Skull. DeJesus hit 288 homers. He drove in 26 runs. Did DeJesus in that month of June. Here's a look at Anthony Skull, a strikeout victim his first time up. First pitch, a big swing and a miss that time is Rosado. First out of the bullpen tonight for the Barons. It looks like it may be kind of a bullpen day for them as they go to their pen in the 4th. And with Gordon getting a visit from the trainer, you wonder. Here's a ball smashed towards a gap in right center field by Skull. That's going to one-hop and go to the warning track. Thrown in by Zavala. Having to stop at third base is DeJesus on a ball that was crushed, but stays in the yard in right center by Anthony Skull. And this is a great play in center by Zavala. He saved a run by getting to that baseball as DeJesus was held up at third by manager Joe Cruzel. That 2-bagger for Skull. Now runners at second and third, 2 outs, and a chance here for Cole Fontenelle. Switch hitter was hit by a pitch and scored in that 3rd inning. Scored on the double by Namala. Takes ball 1. Cole 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout coming in to today's ball game in the series. Good take there, down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. This is a Birmingham ball club that has had their bullpen struggles this year. Some power arms out there, though. 2-0 pitch, lifted down the left field line, slicing to Sig, not going to get it. 1 run scores to Jesus. In comes Skull on another RBI double, this time for Cole Fontenelle. And the Pandas lead it 4-2. And a boy, Cole Fontenelle just shoots it the opposite way down that left field line. And with 2 outs, Rocket City strikes and takes their first lead of the ball game. Going to get a visit from John Kovalak here as they do their damage with 2 outs. A double by Skull and a 2-run double by Fontenelle, his 20th and 21st RBIs of the season. Crowd here inside Toyota Field. You get to see a post-game drone show tonight. First ever drone show here inside Toyota Field after the game. Pitch is high, ball 1 to Nick Rodriguez. Back to the top of the lineup. 2 runs are in. Rocket City now leads it 4-2. Tell you what, this lineup, man, they don't have many holes. Especially these recent additions. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Got a guy like Nick Rodriguez who look up and down this Angels minor league system, and Nick Rodriguez stands out as someone who's had a breakout season. He's not in a top 30 prospect mix, but talk to anybody in the organization, they just rave about Nick Rodriguez. Unheralded coming out of high school, unheralded coming out of college, but all he's done is hit. He's a gamer. 2-1 pitch. That sails high, 3-1. Only 1 Rodriguez now on this roster, with Rowdy getting the promotion to AAA Salt Lake, and I think he's really going to feast in the thin air in Salt Lake, as most hitters can. Here's a 3-1. Walked him. So this inning, it continues to go the wrong direction for Rosado and the Barons, and now the second walk of the inning. And here comes Arjun Namala with 2 on base and 2 outs, coming off that RBI double in the third. He walked back in the first. Going back to last night, he's been on base in now his last 3 straight appearances at the dish. It was a lot of fun to talk it over with him. He did the media hits today, some TV stations coming out to talk to him, and just a very calm and well-spoken young man, and ton of talent. First pitch, strike to him. First pitch, a slider there from Rosado. In that 2023 draft, 20th overall pick by the Blue Jays, he was the youngest player drafted. First, of course, Indian American born player. Check swing, both runners will take off, and both runners going to steal their respective bags. Fontenelle swipes third. It's his second stolen base of the game. And Nick Rodriguez with a steal of second base, so now a base hit could score 2 more, 1-1. But the youngest first-round pick at 17 years old was Namala. Big swing and a miss there. Drafted out of high school in Tampa. So everybody talks about that swing. You ask him about it, all he does is just start smiling. He knows that is a point of at least not concern, but point of emphasis, I guess, when you talk about Namala. 2 balls, 2 strikes on him. Another good at bat. Just carries himself very, very, very well. Really been impressed these first 2 days, 3 days now, being in Rocket City. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a ball roped towards a gap in right center field. That's down. That's going to score 2 more. How about another double for Arjun Namala? RBIs 2 and 3, and it's now 6-2 Pandas. .107 off the bat. Swing, schming, my goodness. There's a lot of Angels fans and personnel smiling after what they've seen from this kid. 2 doubles and a walk so far today. Right, and 2 more for him on the year. Namala with Double-A New Hampshire, now Double-A Rocket City has 14 RBIs. For the season now, he's up to 38. 1-0 pitch to Micheletti, and he takes a pitch for a ball. It's 2-0. These guys were teammates with New Hampshire and the Toronto Blue Jays organization. As there's a look at Caleb Bartolero. I was asking Arjun, I said, you know, where did you guys hit up and down that lineup? And so we kind of mixed, honestly. He said Micheletti had actually let off some. He had let off some. But mostly hit second. And I was talking to Joe Krusel, of course, when you add 8 new players on Tuesday. Well, sometimes you'll get from the organization where a player should hit as a 3-0 as a strike. Micheletti's like, man, should have maybe swung at that one. Joe said no. He said, I just kind of set these guys down and asked them where they had been hitting and slotted them into the lineup where it seemed best. 3-1. Tap foul. It's a 4-run inning, a 2-run double by Fontanelle, a 2-run double by Namala. And is having some fun. They got down early, but now scored 6 unanswered runs to take a 6-2 advantage. All this fresh firepower. Swinging a broken bat flare. That's going to slice and go foul. And Micheletti's going to have to get a new piece of lumber. Here's a look at Namala. Just 20 years old. The thing about Micheletti I've noticed is he's just always intense. Ball just jumps off of his bat. That deal that, of course, was made, Jose Soriano. I think, of course, Namala got most of the attention, but this young man, don't sleep on him. Ground ball back through the middle. Had it stop a little bit on the hill. It slowed it down a bit, but he grounds out to short to end the inning. But what an inning for Rocket City. 4 runs on 3 hits, all doubles. They'll strand 1. We go to the top of the 5th. 6 Nate Sneed will exit, and now taking over on the hill for Rocket City is going to be the left-hander Dylan Phillips. As he makes his first appearance for Rocket City this season. He's appeared in Double-A in 2 of the past 3 seasons as he starts out his outing with a strike pumped in there to Dylan Campbell. Dylan versus Dylan. Excuse me, this is, no, it is Dylan Campbell. Fouls away that one. Campbell has reached on a walk and doubled so far and scored a run. As Phillips takes over for Sneed, who went the first 4 innings. 2 runs, 1 earned on 6 hits, walked 2, and struck out 4. This is there. This will be Phillips' his 31st appearance this year. 30 with Tri-City. He's 3-1 there, 3.47 ERA. Good numbers. 46 2/3 innings. 62 strikeouts to 13 walks. This is low there. He had 2 saves. Opponents hit just .213 against him. Also some time at Salt Lake, too.
Yeah, well, he's an interesting case. I'm a little surprised they haven't pushed him to a higher level. He's been pretty good wherever he's gone.
There's a broken bat, fly ball down the left field line, and that's going to drop, and it's fair. Wow, just fair, and it bounces out of play. And into second base with a ground rule double is Campbell. He's on base with a 2-bagger again here in the top of the 5th. Rocket City on top, 6-2.
I'd like to see this one again. I'm not sure what happened to Micheletti. He may have just kind of bad jump. I thought he was going to get to that ball, but it wound up just hugging the line, and a good start to the 5th inning for Birmingham.
Phillips made 14 appearances with the Trash Pandas between 23 and 25. Those 2 stints, he had a 2.57 ERA. 26 strikeouts.
Here's a look at that fly ball. Yeah, I don't know if Micheletti picked that up immediately.
This is the time of night in this ballpark, kind of dusk. Lights haven't taken quite full effect almost, and it's kind of tough, especially in left field. 1-1 now on Briley. One of the best defenders we've seen in this ballpark, David Calabrese.
That's right.
He misjudged 2 in the same game. And we talked to him about that. By the way, tough news for him earlier this week, was released by the Angels. This one popped up, jammed out towards shallow left. There's Namawa, and he'll back up and make that catch for out number 1. But David Calabrese, Josh, I want you to speak on David as you see a replay of this.
Well, David, for those of you who've been following Angels baseball, I'm sure you know the name. He was a high round selection by the Angels during the Billy Epler era. That was back in 2019, and he spent 7 seasons in this organization, the last 4, I believe, with Rocket City, and just such a great ambassador to us and what we do, and, you know, so wonderful with the fans. But as we all know, this is a business first and foremost, and when you make a bunch of changes like the Angels did on Monday, some hard decisions have to be made, and unfortunately David was a victim of that. But how do you like this? Right before his final game with Rocket City, he hits a game-tying 3-run homer on Friday against Columbus, and then his final at-bat as a Trash Panda, he drives home a run on a triple and a win on Sunday. So he certainly made an impact really throughout his entire tenure, but over the final few days with Rocket City as well.
He set a tone. He was a leader in that clubhouse, and he led by example on and off the field. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bonnemer, the top prospect for the White Sox, and Phillips throws in there a strike. 1-2 the count. Phillips from Omaha, Nebraska. He was a two-way guy at Kansas State, had a really good career as a hitter. In fact, he's the all-time home run leader at K-State with 44. Need an emergency at bat. He's the guy. As this one skied out toward.
He can't find it.
Micheletti. Yep, he can't. Now he does. Sprints in, makes the catch. It's something about left field this time of night. Tagging at first base, going to second is Campbell, or excuse me, getting back to second base. Campbell trying to tag.
Remember, it's his first first game in left field for Micheletti, so it's going to take him a game or two to get used to this. But you brought up Calabrese. There was a game against Pensacola about a month ago where, and David's played out in this outfield for 4 seasons. He lost a couple of fly balls, and no one in the bullpen could see it either.
He was asking for some help even out in that bullpen, like you said. And the guys are over in the left center field bullpen. They're back in right center now. 1-0 as there's 2 outs. This is Colby Shelton who faces Dylan Phillips. Trying to get around that leadoff double, put up a 0. Pitch in there for a strike. 1-1, Calabrese. We were talking about this earlier in the series, but when all these moves happen, you know, sometimes it's in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's early in the morning. You never know. 1-1 pitch, foul back, and so they get out of here, and a lot of folks don't get a chance to say goodbye, but Calabrese actually went up to the front office and I think gave some hugs to some people and wanted to make sure he saw as many people as he could on the way out. I think he was driving his way back up to Canada, but just want to, you know, appreciate someone who played the game the right way. Big swing and a miss there by Shelton, and down on strikes he goes. Nice job by Phillips to work around that double, and there's a tough sky out there in left with Micheletti. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 6-2. One of the traditions here in Madison at Toyota Field, the astronaut race. Of course, the Rocket City. Tucker Flint leads things off against another new pitcher for the Barons. This is Matthias Lacombe. 3rd pitcher already for these guys. Pumps in a first pitch strike to Tucker Flint. Flint is 0 for 1, a walk and a fly out so far. All these new guys have certainly made themselves known, haven't they?
Look, we flat out said it on Tuesday. I think Rocket City right now is the team to beat in the entire league, just given all the new additions. And right now this is a pretty potent offense. There's not too many weak spots 1 through 9 in that lineup. It should be a lot of fun these final 6 weeks.
Just 1 inning for Rosado, allowed 4 runs, all earned, 3 doubles, and that hit Flint. Hit him in the leg, and he's down in the dirt. He goes. He'll take first base. He's all right.
I'm going to check this right now, but Tucker, he's become a magnet for that baseball.
You do that. Let's take a moment, 10 seconds for our stations on the radio to identify themselves. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Bartolero takes a ball. Chris Harris and Josh Carey with you from North Alabama. Whether it's radio, whether it's TV, whether it's streaming, we're glad to have you with us on this Thursday night.
That's the 7th time he's been hit with a pitch. And that's most on the team. Broke a 3-way deadlock with that. I want to say he's been hit maybe 3 or 4 times over the last couple of weeks. That's what happens. He's a very aggressive hitter. He likes to crowd the plate, so you're going to get plunked a few times.
Hitters count 2-0. Hard hit, but right to the third baseman, Shelton. He's going to start a 5-4-3 double play, and that's a killer there after that hit by pitch. Tough luck for Bartolero because he hit it well, but right to the third baseman. Well, fans, get all your Trash Pandas gear online at shoptrashpandas.com or in stores at the Junkyard here at Toyota Field, and the Trash Pandas store located on Hughes Road. The top merch selling teams and the 2 top selling hats in minor league baseball. Ground ball towards second, bobbled out there by Jordan Sprinkle, but he recovers, and an inning that started with a hit by pitch, double play and a ground out, sends us to the 6th inning. 6-2 in favor of the Trash Pandas as we go to the 6th inning. This is Trash Pandas Baseball, the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. I'll go back to Toyota Field here in Madison as Rocket City leads it 6-2. And it was a big inning in the 4th. 4 runs coming in, both with 2 outs. 2-out doubles by Cole Fontanelle and Arjun Namala. Little past and present and future there with Fontanelle and Namala. Dylan Phillips' 2nd inning of work on the hill. Faces off against Burrows first, who swings and drives one to the gap. But over is Anthony Skoll. He'll make that catch on the move, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Burrows, Zavala, Corona duo.
Very smooth looking swing here by Burrows. He's impressed in this series, but again, a good jump by Skoll. Again, with David Calabrese now cut, and as well as Roddy Rodriguez being promoted to AAA, you're kind of wondering who'll take over those center field duties. It looks like it'll be Skoll with maybe a little Tucker Flint mixed in.
First offering on the way to Samuel Zavala. Is a ball. Zavala with a double his last time up. He was caught stealing at third. The first chance for Cozart. Showcased a nice arm. No pitch. Bounced foul that time. Dylan Phillips in relief of Nate Snead, who went the first 4 innings. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned on 6 hits, walked 2, and struck out 4. It's not hot, but it's muggy with that humidity up over 80% here in North Alabama. 1-1 pitch to Zavala. Ground ball towards short. There's Namala. Up with it. That's a good, I throw again. Another throw that was offline from the shortstop as Bartolero tried to sweep the tag that time, but reaching is Zavala.
This should be an E6. Let's see what happened here. Looked like he may have tried to rush his throw. Not an easy play. Had to move back to his right to get to the ball. And I think he has to do it again. Maybe he takes an extra beat. It appeared he rushed the throw, and that pulled Bartolero off the bag.
Just kind of sailed on him.
And it will be an error.
That's the second error of the ball game for Namala. Pitch is low, ball 1 to Corona.
And again, we talk about his youth, only 20 years old. As you get a little bit older, that type of play will start to slow down a little bit, and you'll be able to take your time and make a more accurate throw. That's why the guys are down here, is to experience things like that and work around it.
You could tell he was kind of throwing off his back foot. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Corona. So he had committed 8 errors all season coming into play. So his 9th and his 10th, even with a .922 fielding percentage. Now 2-1 on Corona. Maybe something you're gonna have to work on. Not everybody is flawless in every part of their game. Pitches in the dirt. 3-1 now on Corona.
Well, unless you're me.
It's your birthday. I'll let you get away with that one.
That's my middle name, Josh Flawless Carey. Dion was prime time. I'm flawless.
3-1 the count on Corona. Next from Phillips, fouled straight back. Big cut by Corona. For our fans who want to see you come out this weekend, a couple of big days coming up. Saturday is our next game here on Angels TV, ABTV. It's our space night. And one thing that's interesting this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is we're having jersey auctions. 3-2 pitch is ball 4. That one misses just high. So an error, now a walk. And that'll bring in James Taussig with 2 on base, 6-2, and now out to the mound goes Cozart for a visit. But with the jersey auctions in the minor leagues, a chance for you to bid on game-worn jerseys. So if you would like a Jacob Cozart, Dylan Phillips, Arjun Namala, Tyler Bremner, who's actually starting Saturday, you can bid online. Just go to milbauctions.com and you'll be able to find the Rocket City ones and bid on a player's jersey. It'll be on Saturday, Space Night. On Sunday, Paw Patrol jerseys that Rocket City will be wearing. So if you're a fan, want to get a game-worn jersey.
I just want to meet Chase. That'll be the highlight of my week.
Swing and a miss there by the left-hander Taussig.
I mean, we've had a lot going on here. We've had Chase. We had Santa Claus a couple of weeks ago.
Santa was here.
Big red man was here.
Tonight we're honoring the Grateful Dead. 0-2. That one rolled foul. Post-game drone show after the game. I'm really looking forward to that. They were out there setting it up earlier. I was kind of keeping an eye on them. They're going to reach 400 feet in the air, these drones.
All right.
No balls and 2 strikes on Taussig. No activity in that Rocket City bullpen. Ground ball would be awfully nice right here. Or a strikeout. Second strikeout for Phillips. That one looking, and on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's not about the speed. Sometimes it's about the location. He caught this right on the lower outside corner. That's a really tough place for Taussig to put the ball in play. He watched it go by thinking it would go off the plate, but it just nicked the outside corner.
Well, there is some movement out there. That's Carlos Espinosa, that you see right there. By the way, I'm going to give him a shout out. He's now gone 12 consecutive appearances without giving up an earned run. This has been a bullpen here in Rocket City that's been spectacular, one of the tops in the minors since the beginning of May.
And they've continued to do it even with Luke Murphy called up.
0-1 pitch hit down the right field line. This is trouble. It's going to drop, and it is a fair ball. 1 run's going to score. Zavala, they'll hold the second potential run at third. That's Corona. That's a double and an RBI for Jordan Sprinkle out of the 9-hole. He's got 2 hits and a walk. And the lead now is 3 at 6-3 here in this top of the 6th inning.
That's also an unearned run because of the error by Namala. So suddenly you got the tying run coming to the plate. Phillips needs to hunker down here and try to get that final out. Tim Levesque going to go out there and have a word with him as it looks like activity will get started in the Rocket City bullpen. But Phillips going to be challenged here as he'll go toe-to-toe with Campbell, who's 2 of 2 today.
By the way, fans, the Trash Pandas have scored 4 runs. Claimed 6 free wings on us at Walk-On Sports Bistro, dine-in only. Offer is valid 24 hours after today's game. So Rocket City again scoring 4, and with those 6 free wings, if you're out in Los Angeles, just take a flight. Get those free wings tomorrow. Visit over on the hill. Runners at second and third. Back to the top of the lineup, and Dylan Campbell. He's been on base all 3 times as well. 2 doubles and a walk. Represents the tying run. It's 1-0. This bullpen has been really good. Some names to throw out there. Of course, right now, Kenyon Yovan is the closer since Luke Murphy was promoted to the majors. Swing and a miss there. It's even. You've got, of course, Carlos Espinosa, Lucas Malstedt, side armor. We saw a guy last night made his debut, Nicolo Pinazzi, that made a nice first impression on us out of independent baseball for a couple of years. Found a lively fastball, and now trying to work his way back in affiliated baseball.
Came into the intro music from The Godfather, the theme song from there.
Chris Cortez, who throws really hard. Got Jose Gonzalez down there. There's Blake Wyman promoted to the big leagues. Great story. He still hasn't gotten into a game for the Angels. 30 years old, 9 years in the minors. That's just one of those really cool stories. 2-2 the count. Ground ball up the middle. Namala. This one's right on target. And the side is retired. A run scores, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 6-3 your score. Rocket City on top. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And Randy DeJesus leads things off here for Rocket City against Matthias Lacombe, who's a native of France, by the way. Oui. Pitch is high. Ball 1 to the big outfielder, Randy DeJesus.
So think about that, folks. We've got Panazzi for Rocket City and then Lacombe for Birmingham. It feels like the World Cup.
Well, Mbappe is not coming out of that bullpen. 1 ball and 1 strike on DeJesus.
Slowly but surely, baseball catching on in some of these other countries. It may, it'll take a couple of decades, but I can see France and Italy all really embracing the sport, which is one of the reasons why we have the World Baseball Classic to begin with, to try and push that narrative.
I think a guy like Sam Aldegheri, how many young Italians he has inspired to get into the game of baseball, being the first Italian-born player to play in the major leagues.
And, of course, again, you got Namala, from parents from India.
Pitch outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on DeJesus. This guy has a ton of power. Two pitch on the way from Lacombe. Stays alive, 2-2. Heard Joe Krusel joking about maybe needing to add some BP balls because some of these new guys distributing home run balls outside the confines. There's a ball lined out towards right. Moving over, that ball was slicing maybe a tad more than Campbell thought, but he's able to catch up to it. 1 away now for Anthony Skoll. The bottom of the lineup here, 7, 8, and 9 due up. This is game 3 of the 6-game series. We're in the second half of the season, and the Trash Pandas are tied for first place with the Knoxville Smokies entering play today. And I think early on it was Chattanooga was on top. It shifted a bit since last time I looked. I'll tell you about that. Anthony waits the pitch. Fouled off.
Actually, you were talking about the baseballs. I found something out a little interesting yesterday. So Drew Thorpe was making his rehab appearance for the White Sox. They actually had 2 different sets of baseballs because, as many people, a lot of folks might not know this.
That was hard hit back up the middle. That's a base hit for Skoll. He's got 2 hits. A single and a double, a multi-hit game for Anthony.
But anyway, the baseballs the major leaguers use are different from the minor league baseballs as you look at the single by Skoll. So when Thorpe came on to pitch, they used a different set of baseballs than they did for everyone else. I had completely forgotten about that, but that's true, and that's very common whenever a major league rehabber makes an appearance. You got to have a whole different set of baseballs for them.
Here's Fontenelle, a 2-run double his last time up. Fouls that one away. For a few years, of course, had the horrendous first half of, I believe it was the 22 season with those sticky baseballs.
It was 23, and I know that because we're the same organization that pitched a 7-5 no-hitter and lost. And it's because of those tacked baseballs that no one could get over the plate.
And those pre-tacked baseballs, those were big league balls.
Yes. What I will never understand for the life of me.
0-1 pitch is a ball.
Is, for those who don't know, when they went to those pre-tacked baseballs, they didn't use them in spring training. So you had these young pitchers who are learning how to pitch at the big league level. Minor leaguers trying to learn, using one set of baseballs in spring training, then suddenly going to the minors and having to use these pre-tacked things that they didn't know how to handle.
Pitch a strike, of course. That was someone's idea to meet in the middle of all the issues potentially with foreign substances. It was a chemical someone came up with to put on these baseballs, but guys would go out and play catch, and after 10-15 throws, the ball would be black. There's a ground ball towards second, and Fontenelle going to stay out of a double play. So 1 on, 2 outs, and we'll flip the lineup card over for Nick Rodriguez. But for whatever reason in this game of baseball, we use totally different baseballs than they use in the big leagues.
Which makes no sense because you're trying to get these guys to prepare to play at the major league level, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing? But anyway, one of the guys, I talked about the 7-5 no-hitter that Rocket City lost. One of the guys to pitch in that game was Ben Joyce, and he went out there. He didn't know what to do with it, and he wound up walking, I think, 3 or 4 men. I mean, I get you want to make the game better, but there's just not enough forethought sometimes.
As you might imagine, those pre-tacked baseballs have not come back, and they never will.
Bad throw.
Bad throw gets away and heading towards second base. Fontanelle, he may get to third. This one's way down that right field line. That's going to be a 2-base error on the pickoff attempt, and now Fontanelle's on the doorstep at third. All grins over there.
We've seen this happen a couple of times. A lot of room down that right side. You can see playing it straight away right is Campbell. He has to run a country mile just to track that ball down, and Sprinkle is coming from his second base position, and Fontanelle runs well enough to go first, third on the play. Now you're a pass ball, wild pitch away from getting that run right back.
Corona out for a visit. Look at Cole. That's a perfect shot of Fontanelle. His shirt tail halfway out. All smiles as Rocket City trying to extend their lead.
Owner of the first ever cycle in Rocket City Trash Pandas history as Justin Hilton, the home plate umpire, breaks things up.
Nick Rodriguez has walked 0 for 2 officially, but he scored a run. And Nick leading in most offensive categories now with Rowdy Rodriguez in AAA on this ball club. And he takes that first pitch strike from Lacombe. I think we'll probably see a new pitcher for Rocket City when we go to the top of the 7th.
Well, there's a right-hander standing down there, apparently ready to go.
So we're going to miss there by Nick, and he's behind 0-2. Nick, first in the league in doubles with 26. Fourth in hits, he's got 97 hits. Tied for 8th in batting at 270. Fontanelle dancing down that third base line as Nick stays alive.
And the funny thing about Nick, a lot of people overlooked him coming out of college. He played at Missouri State. He was a 10th round selection. It's easy to overlook someone like that, but I'll tell you what, he gives me a lot of Adam Kennedy vibes for you Angel fans watching it.
Takes ball 1 now, 1-2. Nick Rodriguez.
And what's been so impressive is how steady he has been. 270, and he's never really tailed off. He had a little blip early in April trying to get adjusted to AA pitching, but that's been about it.
2-2 now. Putting together some quality at bats. He and Rowdy were at the top of this lineup for a few months prior to Nick Rodriguez being in this role. A guy named Wade Meckler was doing that here the first couple of months. That's a called third strike. That was a slider, maybe a tad off the outside corner, but Lacombe got the call. And the trash bin is going to strand that runner at third base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Trash Pandas lead at 6-3. This is Trash Pandas Baseball, the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network in Valley Sports Live. Manasseh takes over, as he'll be facing off against this top of the lineup for the Barons, as Manasseh takes over for Dylan Phillips. Here's the first offering. It's foul back. So Camden Manasseh, that was a guy I failed to mention earlier, but certainly deserves to be in the conversation as one of the top hurlers out of this Rocket City bullpen. Spent some time on the injured list this year, but had a pretty long scoreless streak himself. Swing and a miss there, and he's ahead now. Manasseh's 26th appearance. 24-year-old out of Tampa, Florida, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon. 6 holds on the year. He's 2-2, a 2.43 earned run average. Second appearance in the series. Pitched a scoreless inning, struck out 2. In the win on Tuesday, finished it off in a non-save situation. 1-2 on Briley. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Briley, Bonimer, and Shelton. As Phillips, pitcher of record right now for the ball game after Snead went the first 4. 2-2 now on Briley. So Phillips, 2 innings. Gave up 2 hits, 1 unearned run, walked 1, struck out 2. And it goes to 3-2 now on Briley. Camden Manasseh. By the way, our outstanding home clubhouse manager, Bubba Hearn, he heard our conversation talking about those pre-tacked baseballs, and he brought us one. I don't know if we can get a shot in the booth over there. I don't know if the camera's pulled up or not, but...
Now let me ask you a question, because I know you do this a lot. There's that pre-tacked ball.
This is brand new. The chemical they put on it would basically erase the baseball. You can't even read the MLB logo. If I can learn how to hold a baseball up to a camera. Ground ball towards third. There's Fontenelle.
I know you do this sometimes when you have a dead moment in your day, but you'll rub Mississippi mud on those baseballs. Yeah. Would you rub Mississippi mud, or is that how?
This is how we played.
Oh, wow.
With this baseball, there was no mud put on this baseball. But the chemical they put on it would erase all the logos. And, yeah, I mean, it was...
It's like throwing a bar of soap.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. I mean, one of the things it did do is it took a lot of time away from clubbies having to rub up baseballs, because they didn't have to do that when they were using these baseballs. Ball popped up. Foul territory. Maybe a play for Bartolero, but he runs out of room.
Now, what you have to understand is a couple of the guys in that 7-5 no-hitter who are pitching for Rocket City, I think of Eric Torres, I think of Colton Ingram, both of them had wicked sliders. Well, think how you throw a slider. You put both of your fingers onto the seam and you throw it like a cut piece. Well, when you do that and you're not able to get the same grip, it's going to ride on out. And so when it rides on out like that, you have a hard time hitting the zone, and you're going to be all over the place with your command.
Base hit to left off the bat of Bonimer, the top prospect for the White Sox.
And those were just some of the issues that a lot of teams were facing during the first half of that season. And what we lose is that so many guys who are on the movement up. And when you get to Double-A, you can see the finish line in sight, maybe getting to the major leagues. Now you got to work around something like that. That was just... I understand what they were thinking. It was inherently unfair to do it at that time, at that level, with no prior experience using those baseballs. What they probably should have done, if they really wanted to use them for the short season teams, give the kids a month or two to use those, April, May, and then when their season starts in June, toss those out there and see how things go.
Swing and a miss there. 0-2 on Shelton. You might ask, well, what's the difference in a minor league ball and a major league ball? Quality of the leather. It's wound a bit tighter. The seams. 0-2 fouled off. Plus, when you get a dozen baseballs, major league balls, they come in this tissue paper.
Yes.
Minor league balls come in a plastic wrapper.
You know
double the price.
You exactly know where you are on the totem pole.
0-2 on Shelton, the former Alabama and Florida Gator. 1-2 on Shelton. Well, the minor leagues, it's where you experiment. 1-2. That was just an epic fail.
Yeah, just not at the AA level. And again, if they had used them in spring training, maybe. But just to go from one baseball to another one just as you're beginning your season, that's what frustrated so many people. And it wasn't just the fact there were so many walks and so many strikeouts. There were a ton of hit batsmen as well.
Guys were getting hurt.
Yes. I remember Kyron Paris sent out a tweet after he had gotten plunked a couple of times. It's like, you know, we feel like we're targets out there, and it's no one's fault except the people who instituted these baseballs.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That was a nasty slider there from Manassi. And he picks up the strikeout for out number 2. Bringing Ryan Burrows here with 1 on and 2 outs. Trash Pandas leading at 6-3. Got 4. So it's been a nice inning for the Pandas in this series, the 4th. The ball's going to drop into center field, a base hit. And going first to third is Bonham. So the tying run's going to come back up here in the top of the 7th inning. That'll bring in Zavala now.
I give this Birmingham team a lot of credit, boy. The last couple of games, they have been very pesky. A lot of long at-bats, and they've really made Rocket City work so far this week. That being said, Manassi an out away from getting out of this frame.
Camden Manassi, of course, from Tampa. Nick Rodriguez from Tampa. They did go to the same high school, Jesuit High School there in Tampa, Florida.
And Andrew Namala, also from Tampa, different high school, but.
You know, I asked him today if he knew these two guys. He said I'd heard of them, but this is the first time he's had a chance to meet them. Pitch is in the dirt low, taking off to second base, and getting there will be Burrows on a wild pitch. So now a base hit could score 2.
And what you forget again is Namala's only 20 years old, so he would have missed out on Rodriguez and Manassi as well. You don't think of it like that, but yeah, there's a big age difference between that trio.
See the high socks that Manassi wears. This is that time. That was a fastball at 94. Ball's behind on Zavala. He's had a nice series so far. Already 3 hits. Holding a double in this one and a run scored. One tap foul. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. One other thing. That's Tyler Bremner. I'm not going to tell the story now. We got 2 outs and 2 strikes about making you feel old. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Manassi leaves those runners stranded at second and third. A pair of strikeouts for the kid from Tampa. On we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Now it's time to stretch. Rocket City, they lead at 6-3. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Bally Sports Live. Alabama. And another pitching change made here. Get that. The best facilities in the minors. New pitcher for Birmingham. This is a lefty, Liam Paddock. First pitch to Arjun Namala is a strike. What a day he's had. There's a look at Paddock after Lacombe went 2 innings, the Frenchman. He becomes the 4th pitcher used tonight for the Birmingham Barons. 0-1 pitch in the dirt low. Second appearance in the series for Paddock. He's 23 years old, his 13th appearance on the year, 1-0, a 3.86 earned run average. From Oregon City, Oregon, and out of Gonzaga. Swing and a miss there by Namala, 1-2. Namala has a pair of doubles, 3 RBIs, plus he's walked. So Namala 2 for 2.
Gonzaga, I thought they only did basketball over there.
1-2 the count. The kennel. That one just misses up and in. Nice take there for Arjun. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arjun Namala. Coming over in that Jose Soriano deal on Monday from the Blue Jays. The 2-2. Now 3-2. Tell you what, he takes some good at-bats.
Yes, he does. He knows how to work a count, and being that young and that disciplined at the plate, very impressive.
Simpson early just carries himself extremely well. And he takes ball 4. That's the 3rd walk he has drawn in 2 games now. And he's aboard. He also has 1 stolen base and a chance in this bottom of the 7th inning to add to the lead. Now here's his former teammate in New Hampshire in the Blue Jays organization, and Eddie Micheletti Jr.
And the problem is, if you're an opposing pitcher facing Namala, it's kind of a pick your poison, right? I'll explain after this pitch.
Pitch up and in. That gets away from the catcher Corona, and easily getting to second base. Namala there.
If you pitch to him, you know he's capable of hitting it out of the yard or at least going gap to gap. If you try to pitch around him and you wind up walking him, he's liable to steal second. So you're at your wits' end. You've got to commit to what you're going to do against this guy, and he can make you pay either way.
1-0 on Micheletti, who today is 0 for 3, had a double yesterday in his first at bat as a trash panda with the Angels. Takes a ball. It's 2-0. Lefty versus lefty here. Scoring opportunity in the bottom of the 7th inning. Already up 6-3. 4 runs coming in the 4th. There's a strike. Pumps in the fastball at 91.
They call that a pass ball, by the way, on Corona.
2 balls and a strike. Check the swing that time. That ball sneaks away from Corona. Now at third base is Namala. That one probably going to be a wild pitch, but one that he should have stopped, you would think.
I'm not sure about that one. I thought he maybe should have had it. It may be back-to-back pass balls by him.
It did hit the dirt. That's the only thing. Had an interesting stolen base in the 9th inning yesterday by Jake Thompson. What could have been defensive indifference, but pitch outside. That's ball 4. So another walk issue. Back-to-back walks to Namala and Micheletti Jr. And here's Tucker Flint with runners at the corners, but the catcher last night for the Barons, Grant McGill, made an attempt to throw to second base, which turned it into a stolen base, even though Thompson was not being held on at first base. As the entire infield going to come in on this conversation with pitching coach John Kovalik.
By the way, that second advancement by Namala, they did call that a wild pitch, so it's pass ball, wild pitch. Move a runner to third. While they meet here, Chris, I want to give you an update on one score that I just noticed while perusing the AA scoreboard. In Binghamton, New York tonight, Binghamton, Mets affiliate, they played Hartford, which is the Rockies affiliate, and as if things weren't hard enough for the Rockies, Binghamton just beat their Double-A club 23-3. There were 6 errors in the game by Hartford. They were trailing 19-0 at one point.
Did you say 6 errors?
6 errors. The game lasted 3 hours and 13 minutes and played in front of 1,200 fans from Binghamton, New York. You talk about a rough night. The Rumble Ponies, that's Binghamton's name. They scored in 7 of 8 innings.
Flint takes a strike. I'm surprised it was 3 hours and 13 minutes.
They put up a snowman in the 3rd inning. That's 8 runs for those not in the know. Just a rough day at the yard for Hartford, but you'll get 1 or 2 of those a year.
Ground ball towards second. Infield drawn in. The throw to the plate, and they've got caught in a rundown. Namala goes back towards third. Shelton throws to the plate. Pitcher covering. He's out. Wow, Namala thought he got in there, and I did too. Tag applied by Paddock, but I think he missed the tag.
Either that or I thought he got it down late. I thought he got the hand in there, Namala, as he continued to run away from Shelton, the third baseman, showing you his wheels.
Fans giving Justin Hilton a piece of their minds. Look at the second look. As Caleb Bartolero will be the batter up to second base is Micheletti, but out at the plate, Namala. He goes 4-2-5-1, by the way, on the putout. 4-2-5-1. That was a great slide by Namala. See his shiftiness on the base paths there. He can move a little bit. Quickness. And if one on Bartolero.
And if you want, well, first we'll take a look at this again. Let's see if he got a hand in there. And watch him run away.
Oh, he was safe.
Yes, he was.
Wow. What a big break for the Barons there. And Namala was hot. You see with that replay why.
But if you wonder why you try to stay in a rundown, it's 2 things. One, you want to see if your other runners will move up. But in a situation like this, Paddock, the pitcher, he's not used to tagging people, right? So if you get a ball coming to him and you have a chance to make it to home, you may get in because of his inexperience.
2-1 on Bartolero, takes the ball outside. That's a good point.
I mean, the front part of home plate was wide open, and it was there for Namala to take, and you and I both agree he got in there.
Here's a 2-1 to Caleb. Speed outside, 3-1. That was a curveball at 77. Paddock is in the West Coast Conference at Gonzaga 2024. Pitch inside, that time ball 4, another walk. Third walk to the first 4 batters. Bases are loaded with 1 out. And here comes Jacob Cozart, who already has a home run in the ball game. That was back in the 2nd inning. And he bats here. He's been on base with a walk, of course, the home run, and he's grounded out, so 1 for 2 officially. Base is juiced. Home run in the 2nd, by the way, was 404 feet. First pitch strike takes the curveball. Not a bad take there by Jacob. Trying to blow this game open, up 6-3. Really should be 7-3. 0-1 pitch is a ball outside. Paddock, since coming into the ball game, 18 pitches, only 6 have been strikes. 1-1 high now, 2 balls and a strike on Cozart. Jacob was with Double-A Akron, 79 games there. 10 doubles, 6 home runs. 7 now in the year. That one's,
oh, wow.
That's well low. Called a strike, my goodness.
Second time that's happened tonight.
That one not as far down as the last, but that's easily a couple of inches low. And Kozar can't believe it.
Let's look at it again. Computers are pretty good. Yeah, that's low.
2-2 on Kozar. Called third strike. That was borderline too. Yeah, it hit the outside corner though, according to pitch tracks. That one did. The previous one did not. Tough break there for Kozar. Strikeout number 1 for Paddock. Now bases loaded, 2 outs for De Jesus.
And as a reminder for those of you watching on Angels television, again, we do not have ABS here at AA. Hopefully that'll change this winter, but as of right now, you go with the call on the field.
Swing and a miss there by De Jesus. He couldn't hold his swing on the curveball in the dirt. Wouldn't mind a grand slam here.
That'd be fun.
Like those batting gloves.
Matches the elbow guard.
Yellow.
It's got a nice motif working.
Looks good with the retro cream pinstripes.
Sort of reminds me of Curious George and the man in the yellow hat, because he wore a lot of yellow and red, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Those red sleeves that he wears. I can't imagine wearing sleeves in this weather, but I'm sure it's that cool gear.
These guys play in Arizona and in Rancho. They're pretty used to the warmth.
Some of these hot days, you lose 5 pounds sometimes during a game. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Blows him away with a fastball that time, and the Pandas going to strand the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, 3 walks, 3 left on base. After 7, the Barons are hanging around, down 6-3 as we go to the 8th. This is Trash Pandas Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live.
Massey tosses scoreless 7th inning, did give up a couple of hits as Rocket City, well, they're up 3, but you feel like they should be up by more. As spiking that pitch is Manasseh. Going to go to a ball and a strike. Again, they left the bases loaded last inning. In fact, let's see, for the game, they've actually left 7. I frankly thought it was more than that. As the right-handed bat stands in Corona. And it's 2-1. Again, Rocket City was down early 2-0. Then they scored the next 6 runs of the game. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 4 in the 4th. Bartolero off the line at first. That one lobbed through and into left field for a base hit. Caught it off the end of the bat a little bit, did Corona, but he was able to shoot it past Fontanelle, who dove to his left. And it don't make no sense. Jorge Corona only 220 on the year, but he singled twice and walked tonight to go along with that pop-up. So he's had a good evening.
It's one of those games where it's like just letting a team hang around, and these guys have enough bats that you don't even try to think it, but it's just one of those games where
it's been such a grind.
You haven't put them away. That's the thing.
11 hits now for Birmingham. As Taussig fouls it off, it's 0-1 to him. Looking in the Rocket City pen, a right-hander is up and throwing. Would not surprise me if that's Kenyon Yovan. Well off the line at third, Fontanelle by about 40 feet as Manasseh will go back to work. And it is Yovan who's throwing as the pitch is sent into deep left. Drifting back, Micheletti on the track. He's got it. We're out number one as Taussig came within an eyelash of his first Double-A home run, just missing it to the opposite field. He flies out to deep left, and Corona returns to first. One man out, one man on, one man out for Jordan Sprinkle. Before he steps in, let's give our stations a chance to identify themselves. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Right on right, and that one fouled away. It's 0-1 on Sprinkle. There's Yovan warming up, former two-way player for the Angels out of the University of Oregon. He's another one of the last vestiges from the Billy Epler era as well. Was also an infielder for a time, then after a couple of years turned to pitching. Ball rolled to third, great play. Fontanelle out at second, throw to first, not in time there. Ball gets away, it'll stay in play, and it'll go down in the books. Actually, he is going to get second base, is Sprinkle, as that ball did bounce out of play. This is a wonderful play by Fontanelle, diving to his right. Great play on the backhand, even with the bag. Rodriguez just tried to rush the throw. You can go ahead, roll the dice there, especially up 3 runs, but it's going to go in the books as an error for Fontanelle.
Third error for the Trash Pandas tonight.
And the second for Fontanelle over the last 2 games. And you could, the double play that he failed to turn last night, it doesn't go in the books as an error, but it felt like one. But again, on that one, you don't mind it so much, especially up 3. Roll the dice, see if you can catch a break. So 2 outs, a runner at second, back to the top of the order in Dylan Campbell. 2 of 3, 2 doubles, a run scored, a walk, and a bounce out to short. And it's 1-0. Wind drifts out toward left. Coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning for Rocket City, it'll be Skull, Fontanelle, and Rodriguez, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Next pitch. And it will go to 2 balls and no strikes. Just a quick check of the Angels affiliates. Rancho playing Inland Empire at this hour. That's Angels-Dodgers, folks. No score, bottom second from Inland. And then in high A tonight, as it goes to 3-0. Let's see, Tri-City, they're playing someone. They're home actually to Hillsboro. That game gets underway in about 5 minutes. And at AAA, Salt Lake, I believe, is in Oklahoma this evening. Playing the Dodgers affiliate. Actually, no, Salt Lake is actually at home as it goes to, is that ball 4? Yeah, it is. That was a close pitch. Actually, that caught the bottom part of the zone, but it was called ball 4 by Justin Hilton, who's now getting an earful by the Rocket City dugout. And suddenly the tying run comes to the plate in a very dangerous man, and Alec Briley. That'll be walk number 1 by Manasseh. And that's now the 4th walk of the game by Rocket City pitchers. Here comes Joe Cruzel. For what it's worth, Rocket City's 2nd fewest walks in the Southern League. By the way, I also want to mention this. Salt Lake leading Oklahoma City at home. That game is in Utah. Scores 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Kenyon Yovan will presumably come on to pitch. Joe Cruzel actually has not made a move. He's waiting for Hilton to come out to the mound, and now he does make the move. And Yovan will come in and go for a 4-out save. Runners first and second, 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Rocket City leading at 6-3. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. Welcome back to Toyota Field, especially those of you on ABTV, as we stay in the top of the 8th inning. Runners at first and second with 2 out. Tying run at the plate in the form of Alec Briley. And Rocket City leading at 6-3. They turn to one of their closers, Kenyon Yovan, who I just talked about moments ago, former Oregon Duck. This is a right-on-left matchup as Kenyon. High leg kick, and it's 0-1 as waving at it is Briley. Good off-speed pitch to get the at-bat started. Briley, a line out to left, a line out into a double play. That was really the turning point in this game back in the second inning. Did that at second. It's also popped to short and bounced to third. Away at second is Sprinkle, leading at first Campbell. Rocket City up 3, trying to hang on here, as playing off the line at third is Fontenelle. Yovan. Now one sailed into deep center. Back goes Skull. Near the track, on the track. He's got it, and the inning is over. If he pulls it, he's in business, but he hit it to straightaway center field, and Skull chased it down right about the cut of the warning track, and that will retire the side as Briley came within inches in the 8th inning for the Barons. No runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error in the inning, and there were 2 left on base. Bottom 8 on its way. It's a 6-3 Rocket City lead. This is Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. The pitch clock is back underway. I thought for sure they were going to get pitch clock violation. Anyway, it's Skull, Fontenelle, and Rodriguez against Liam Paddock in a left-on-left matchup.
That was wild.
Yeah. At the very last moment, you could see everyone for Birmingham scrambling, trying to get back in position. But it goes to 1-0 on Skull, who's 2 of 3, a single, a double, a run scored, and a strikeout swinging. One and one the count. Couple of lines to catch up for you. Camden Manasseh, inning and 2/3 scoreless. 3 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. And Kenyon Yovan got the final out of the inning. He'll come back in and try to nail this one down. Paddock struggled in the 7th inning, got out of it, though, with a goose egg, as that one is lobbed into right field. Drifting over and unable to get there is Campbell. Skull at first, and he'll pull in at second. Anthony Skull now 3 of 4 in this ball game as the throw gets away, but Skull will stay put. His second double and a good start to the 8th inning.
Don't forget about Anthony Skull. With all these moves, with all these names, this young man was off to one of the hottest starts in the organization the first few months of the season. He's got some serious power, and tell you what, it just makes this team so much deeper when he is swinging the bat like this.
7th hit of the game for Rocket City, and you got one on with no one out for Cole Fontenelle, who's reached on a fielder's choice, doubled, and been hit with the pitch. Scored twice, stolen 2 bases, and 2 RBI. 1-0 to him. By the way, we have an attendance to give you, 3,521, 3,521 on this Thursday evening, and we got some good crowds expected for this weekend. Late on the pitch that time was Fontenelle. Going to even at a ball and a strike. There's a look at Paddock, who again in that 7th inning, it was not a work of art. He walked 3 men, but he got a fielder's choice and 2 strikeouts. One of those strikeouts was a little dubious to get out of the jam.
Of course, that play at the plate looms large potentially if Birmingham were to climb back into this ball game.
You see Nate Snead in the background right there. Struggled at first, but then settled down over the last couple of innings.
That's Kyle Robinson, who will make the start tomorrow, part of one of the trades made on Monday.
Former Pirates farmhand. Came over for Kirby Yates. Skull, big lead at second. Bounce foul up third, and Joe Cruzel tries to Pele it, but came up just short. He'll jog down there and pick it up. It remains at 1-2. By the way, we don't really talk about Joe enough, but what a wonderful job he's done. I mean, he came in here, now a whole lot of people knew about him here locally, but he's done a wonderful job, not just working with the team, but some of the things he does behind the scenes as well. 2-2. And one thing, and I'll just use this as an example, every Sunday we have kids running the bases after the ball game, and one thing he will do is he will stand at home plate, wait for every kid to cross home and give them a high five. It's just little things like that that really mean a lot, especially at the minor league level, that type of interaction. As Fontenelle takes strike 3. That pitch was actually off the plate, but they gave him the corner. That'll be strikeout number 3 for Paddock, strikeout number 7 for Birmingham pitchers, and 1 away in the 8th inning. Back to the top of the order, and Nick Rodriguez, 0 of 3, 2 Ks, 1 looking, a walk, a fly out to center, a stolen base, and a run scored. Paddock. And it's 0-1. And in minor league baseball, you really look for that type of interaction between players, coaches, and fans. It's something you don't see and don't expect at the major league level, but it's a little different down on the farm. One ball and 1 strike. And for those of you who don't know, last season it was a tough year on the field. The team finished 45-92, and to see the squad bounce back, and I know there are a lot of different players, but to still see this organization bounce back the way it has this season, it's been impressive, and a lot of that goes to Joe and his coaching staff. Up the middle, but right at Burrows. Low throw, but able to dig it out brightly. Moving second to third is Skull. 2 outs, runner at third for Arjun Namala.
Yeah, just one last thing on Joe. He gets it. I mean, he gets every part of the operation as Matt McCroskey entering the game for Arjun Namala here.
Yeah, he is.
Some late game drama here.
We'll see if we find out anything about that. Here's Mack, left on right. And he'll roll it right at short. Burrows, low throw again, but again, another nice pick by Briley. He saved a couple of errors on Burrows that inning. Roll out to short by Mack. That'll retire the side. Rocket City, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. We'll head to the ninth. It is a 6-3 Rocket City lead. Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live. And again, staying out there is Kenyon Yovan to close the game out. Headed down to the field is Chris Harris. He'll grab a player after the game should Rocket City hang on as it's 1-0 to Caleb Bonnemer. Bonnemer, Shelton, and Burrows all due up. Yovan got the final out of the 8th inning on a flyout to center by Briley. 6-3 Rocket City as we play the top of the 9th inning. Bonnemer 2 for 4, and it's 2-0. He's got a RBI double, a single, run scored. He's also lined to center and fly to left. He's played a good one tonight. Meanwhile, the numbers on Yovan, 5-2, 3.40 ERA, 37th appearance all in relief, 9 of 11 in saves. 40 innings now. That one skied into left, but he got under it. Micheletti up to the task, one gone. A little surprised they had him swing 2-0 down 3 runs, but still he was out in front on the cutter and flared it into left field. Yovan now 40 in the 3rd innings, 29 hits, 20 runs, 15 of them earned. He's allowed 2 homers while hitting 7 and walking 15. He's also struck out 48. Opponents are hitting .204 against him. This is a right-on-left matchup. Shelton 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, and a rollout to first. And he rolls one right side, ranging to his left, Rodriguez, spinorama, and he's got out number 2. Moved to his left into shallow right field, spun around as he fielded the ball and threw a strike to Bartolero at first. 2 away, and the last chance for Birmingham will be Ryan Burrows. He's 1 for 4, a single, a fly out to center, a strikeout looking, and he's reached on an error as you see Rodriguez up to the task. right on right as Jovan faces Burrows. And it's 1-0. Just quickly, fans, at AFIX, we're the Tennessee Valley's premier commercial grounds experts. From routine maintenance to full landscape design build, irrigation, hardscapes, and sodding, we handle it all. Find out more at afix.com. They play him straight away on the infield. And it will go to 1-1. There's the curveball by Jovan, who, by the way, has been with Rocket City for parts of the last 4 seasons. Here's the set and the 1-1. And that's off the plate, 2-1. Well, actually, change of plans. It looks like we won't have a post-game interview as we have a big drone show coming up immediately after this, so we got to get ready for that. So as soon as the game ends here, we will sign off from Way Television as well as ABTV. 2-2, and now Birmingham down to its final strike. Knoxville won earlier tonight, so a win here, and the Trash Pandas will remain tied for first.
Jovan looking for his 10th save.
Should have it here as he'll underhand it, and that's a winner for Rocket City. 1-3 on the putout, and a good job by Jovan. 1-2-3 go the Barons in the 9th inning for Kenyon, his 10th save of the season. Dylan Phillips will pick up the win in his Trash Pandas debut this season. He goes to 1-0. Gerald Rosado will take the loss. He will fall to 0-1 as, again, Rocket City a winner tonight by the final score of 6-3. Chris Harris, your final thoughts.
A solid win, and I tell you what, Angels fans wanted to see the new guys do something. Cozart hits a home run. Arjun Damala with 3 RBIs, a pair of doubles, and got a chance to see a glimpse of the future for Angels baseball. And good win tonight, and hopefully a chance to win another tomorrow. But thank you, Angel fans and ABTV, for joining us tonight, and this is a special, special squad.
Yeah. So you folks on ABTV, as a reminder, our next broadcast will be on Saturday, 4:30 airtime, 4:35 first pitch, as Tyler Brimner will go to the bump for Rocket City against Birmingham. Hopefully you can join us for all of that. For those of you on Way More Television, our next broadcast is tomorrow, 6:30 airtime, 6:35 first pitch for Game 4 of this series. And for those of you on Talk Radio, WZZN and ESPN 97.7 The Zone, the Northrop Grumman postgame show is coming up right after this. Again, your final score tonight on this winning night, it's Rocket City over Birmingham by the final of 6-3. For Chris Harris and for Daniel Williams and for everyone with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, this is Josh Carey saying so long, everybody. This has been Trash Panda Baseball on the Trash Pandas Broadcast Network and Valley Sports Live.